I get a large number of comments stating, I cannot have an EV because I cannot charge at home. Well, I do find this absolutely incredible. Do they really believe that? I normally reply by asking them if they've got a petrol or diesel pump at home. If they haven't, that would prevent them from buying an ICE car. Utterly ridiculous. Well, Dave Takes It On looks at the reality of buying an EV with no home charging, and the results will shock you. But first we need a benchmark, as there's an infinite number of variables. So first I'm going to assume I'm a working man with a wife or partner, kids at home or school. I live in Leyland, near Preston, work in a fixed location, so I'm not a rep out on the road. I work in an office or a factory or a restaurant. I eat out occasionally, have a drink, non-alcoholic of course, with my mates once a week. I shop once or twice a week at my local supermarket. I previously used a Citroen C4 Picasso 1.6 litre diesel, and that got me nearly 50 miles per gallon on a really good run, much nearer 40 around town. So diesel today, according to the RAC, £1.59 a litre, so a gallon. Yeah, I'm old-fashioned. That cost me £7.23, giving me a cost of 15 pence per mile driven. I drive 8 to 10,000 miles a year. That's 150 to 200 a week. Now, if your figures and lifestyle are different, adjust accordingly, but this is a good average. I've just bought an EV, and that has a range in the real world of just over 200 miles. It does 4 miles per kilowatt hour. So it'd be an MG, a Hyundai, BYD, Kia or Tesla. So first fact, I only need to charge once a week. My first task, all done on my computer or tablet or mobile phone, is to open ZapMap. Now, I don't trust it to be fully up to date, especially with prices and availability, but it does show almost all the chargers, unlike WhatsApp, which has loads of chargers missing. ZapMap has a filter, so the first setting I use is free chargers. And this will surprise you, there are plenty around within about 10 miles. I see some workplace chargers which are not accessible to me, but now I see a Hyundai dealer in Chorley has free charging, 7 kilowatt on a Type 2 AC, as does Renault, and of course the Porsche garage has free charging. My first visit then would be to visit my own brand garage and ask, can I leave my car here safe for a whole day, once a week, walk into work on that day, or if it's too far, ask my wife to pick me up and drop me off. If they have a restriction, say they have a maximum 2 hours or 3 hours, then it's not of huge interest to me. There's better choices. So next let's look at workplace chargers. I've seen at my local hospital a staff car park with MER chargers costing 20 pence per kilowatt hour. So at 4 miles per kilowatt hour, that means 5 pence a mile. So if just one day a week I park there and plug in for 8 hours, I get a full battery for the whole week. One single day charging while parked and I'm working, and I never need to charge anywhere else. Well, if your employer has a car park you can use and doesn't have charging, ask them to install it. There are huge subsidies and grants available, and it improves the company's green credentials. So next I look at the supermarkets, just like you do for cheap petrol. My local Tesco Extra is just a mile away and has 4 chargers. It's 44 pence a kilowatt hour, so that's 11 pence per mile. There are no parking restrictions, so once a week I can leave it overnight, walk or scrounge a lift. Oh, I just seen, by the way, my local Aldi has 2 11 kilowatt chargers in the app. When I scan the QR code, it says 25 pence per kilowatt hour. I will have to go and try this out soon. They also have no parking restrictions. I was told I could leave it there over the weekend if I wanted to. But on paper, at 11 kilowatts, I can add 30-35 miles for every hour. So again, an overnight stay will top up to 95% easily. And that would cost me 6 pence a mile. Chorley, about 4 miles away, also has a Tesco Extra at 44 pence. No restriction on parking. But there are also 2 car parks run by the council which do charge for parking but have free EV chargers. One has a maximum limit of 3 hours stay. The first hour's free, next 2 hours, just £1. So if I park there 3 hours, that could give me 60 miles for £1, and that makes about 1.5p per mile of motoring. Well, so far, all the options have been cheaper than diesel was at 15 pence per mile. But now I go and look at my local restaurants and pubs. I do go out occasionally. And I find that Angelo's, Italian restaurant, has an 11 kilowatt charger free for customers, and San Marco, another Italian, has a 7 kilowatt free. Also, my local pub has free charging, 7 kilowatt. Now, in all these cases, if I eat out or have a drink just once a week, any one of them, I can add 60 to 100 miles while enjoying myself. Or add up to maybe 40 miles range while doing the once a week shop at Tesco's. It absolutely baffles me how many free or cheap fast chargers are totally ignored by motorists, even those who can charge at home. Why pay a really cheap off-peak rate when you can get it for free? If I visit family in Swansea and Cornwall, I normally don't stay with them. They don't have an awful lot of free room. So I stay in hotels or Airbnb, both of which I choose which offer free overnight charging. Now, to some people, this will be a load of hassle. They couldn't be bothered. Far quicker just to drive down to the garage and fill up. But it isn't, is it? You see, when I charge, my car is parked. I spend absolutely no time charging. I'm always either eating or sleeping or drinking or shopping while my car charges, often free. You have to get in your car, drive down to the nearest garage, stand there while you fill up, stand there while you queue to pay, then drive home. That doesn't take the oft-quoted 5 minutes. It's more like 15 to 20 minutes, and that gives you 15 pence per mile, versus my, no minutes to get no pence per mile. Check also with your manufacturer. I was filming at an Ionity charger recently that charges 74p and chatted to a BMW driver. He told me he got a 1-year deal with the car when he bought it new, so he can charge an Ionity 350 kilowatt charger for 26 pence. Well, that's cheaper than Tesco, but obviously dearer than free. I don't know any garages offering free or discounted fossil fuel with your new ICE car. Well, if I got a deal like that, I wouldn't bother with Tesco. I'd just use Ionity once a week for about 15 minutes on 350 kilowatt. Well, I hope this is of interest. I'm appalled at the number of comments I get saying can't have an EV, when the truth is a little bit of effort and planning can halve the cost of running an EV versus a petrol or diesel car. Is it worth it? Well, you tell me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so we can inform you when we release our next video. And if you do want to support me financially so I can get around more chargers more often and further distance, please look at our Patreon page.
And if you like what we do, all we ask of you is to click that like and subscribe to follow along.
I'm Dave.